Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Are you ready for a serious productivity boost? We're about to supercharge your life. Today, we're diving into 10 daily habits that are wasting 90% of your time, energy, and potential. That's right, 90%. We're talking about those sneaky little things we all do that are holding us back from absolutely crushing our goals. Like finally finishing that project you've been putting off, learning that new skill you've been dreaming about, or just having more time and energy to do the things you love. Make sure to stick around till the end to find out how you can break free from these time wasters. Let's kick things off with the king of all time wasters, procrastination. We've all been there, right? That deadline is looming, but you just can't start that project. You tell yourself you'll do it later, but later never comes. Procrastination is like a giant comfy beanbag chair. It's so easy to sink into and tell yourself you'll get up in a minute. But then hours disappear, and you're left feeling stressed and overwhelmed. It's not just the time you waste, it's the energy too. That feeling of guilt drains you. So how do we break free from this procrastination prison? First, we need to understand why we do it. Sometimes it's fear of failure, sometimes it's feeling overwhelmed. Once we identify the root cause, we can find solutions. Stay tuned. Okay, let's talk about multitasking. That superpower we all think we have in this day and age? We're juggling emails, phone calls, texts, all while trying to finish a presentation. But here's the truth. Multitasking is a myth. Our brains just aren't wired to focus on multiple things at once effectively. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. You might be able to keep it going for a little bit, but eventually, something's gotta give. And when it comes to multitasking, what usually gives is the quality of our work. We end up making mistakes, missing deadlines, and feeling scattered and stressed. Plus, think about all the time we waste switching back and forth between tasks. It takes our brains time to refocus, and those seconds add up. So instead of trying to be a superhero of multitasking, let's focus on being masters of one thing at a time. We'll get more done, produce higher quality work, and feel way less stressed in the process. Let's be real. Who hasn't fallen into the social media black hole? You open Instagram just to check a notification, and the next thing you know, an hour has vanished. Social media is designed to be addictive. Those endless feeds, the notifications, the fear of missing out, it's all carefully crafted to keep us hooked. Now imagine taking those hours back. What could you accomplish with that time? You could be working on your goals, learning a new skill, or just relaxing and recharging. So, how do we break free from the social media time warp? It starts with awareness. Track how much time you're actually spending on social media each day. You might be surprised by the results. Then, set limits for yourself. Use app timers, turn off notifications, and schedule specific times for checking social media. Remember, you're in control. Chapter 4. The Power of Planning, Your Secret Weapon for Productivity. Have you ever felt like you're just drifting through your day, reacting to whatever comes your way? That's a recipe for feeling overwhelmed and unproductive. But there's a simple solution: planning. Now, I'm not talking about creating this rigid hour-by-hour schedule that you're terrified of breaking. I'm talking about taking a few minutes each day to map out your priorities and goals. It's like having a roadmap for your day, so you know exactly where you're going and how to get there. Start by identifying your top 3 most important tasks for the day. These are the things that will move the needle forward in your life, whether it's finishing a work project, hitting the gym, or spending quality time with family. Then, schedule time blocks for those tasks. Treat them like important meetings that you can't reschedule. And here's a pro tip: don't forget to schedule in breaks. Taking short breaks throughout the day will actually boost your productivity and prevent burnout. Chapter 5. Perfectionism, the enemy of progress. Okay, let's talk about perfectionism. Now, on the surface, wanting to do your best is a good thing, right? But here's the thing. Perfectionism isn't about striving for excellence, it's about striving for the unattainable. It's a sneaky form of self-sabotage that keeps us stuck in a cycle of procrastination and self-doubt. We become so paralyzed by the fear of not being good enough that we never actually finish anything. Listen, done is better than perfect, every single time. The world is full of amazing things that were created by people who weren't afraid to put their work out there, even if it wasn't perfect. So, how do we overcome perfectionism? First, we need to challenge those negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking it's not good enough, ask yourself, is it good enough to share? Remember, progress over perfection. Second, set realistic expectations. Not everything you do has to be a masterpiece. Sometimes good enough is more than enough. Chapter 6. The power of no setting boundaries for a happier you. Are you a people pleaser? Do you find yourself saying yes to every request, even when you're already feeling overwhelmed? Listen, it's okay to say no. In fact, it's essential for protecting your time, energy, and sanity. When you say yes to everything, you're essentially saying no to your own priorities and goals. You end up feeling resentful, burned out, and wondering why you never have time for yourself. Setting boundaries is like building a fence around your time and energy. It's about protecting what's important to you and saying no to the things that drain you. Now, I know saying no can be tough, especially if you're used to pleasing others. But trust me, it gets easier with practice. Start by setting small boundaries, like declining a social invitation when you're feeling tired. Then, gradually work your way up to bigger boundaries, like saying no to extra work projects or commitments. Chapter 7. Sleep, the underrated productivity hack. All right, let's talk about sleep. I know, it's not the sexiest productivity hack, but trust me, it's one of the most important. When you're sleep deprived, your brain is basically running on fumes. You're more likely to make mistakes, have trouble focusing, and feel irritable and stressed. It's like trying to drive a car with a half-empty tank of gas. You might be able to get where you need to go, but it's going to be a bumpy ride. Getting enough sleep, on the other hand, is like giving your brain a full tank of premium fuel. You'll be able to think more clearly, focus better, and have more energy throughout the day. So, how much sleep do you actually need? Most adults need around 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. And I'm not talking about just lying in bed scrolling on your phone. I'm talking about deep, restful sleep. Make sleep a priority in your life. Establish a consistent sleep schedule, create a relaxing bedtime routine, and make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Chapter 8. The Overcommitment Trap. How saying yes can lead to burnout. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness. It's like a badge of honor to have a jam-packed schedule and a never-ending to-do list. But here's the thing, constantly being on is a recipe for burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged exposure to overwhelming stress. It's like running a marathon every single day. Eventually, your body and mind are going to give out. One of the biggest contributors to burnout is overcommitment. We say yes to too many things, take on too much responsibility, and then wonder why we're feeling exhausted and depleted. Remember, it's okay to say no. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being and set boundaries. You can't pour from an empty cup, so take a look at your commitments and see what you can let go of. Delegate tasks, ask for help, and give yourself permission to say no without guilt. Chapter 9. Conquering the Clutter. How disorganization steals your time and energy. Have you ever noticed how a cluttered space can lead to a cluttered mind? Disorganization is a sneaky time waster. We waste precious minutes or even hours searching for lost items, feeling overwhelmed by our surroundings and struggling to focus. It's like trying to work in a tornado of stuff. But the good news is that decluttering your space can have a profound impact on your productivity and peace of mind. Start by tackling one area at a time. Maybe it's your desk, your closet, or even just a drawer. Get rid of anything you don't use, need, or love. Then, create a system for organizing what's left. Use trays, baskets, and labels to keep everything in its place. And here's the key. Make it a habit to tidy up regularly. Spend a few minutes each day putting things back where they belong. You'll be amazed at how much calmer and more focused you feel. Chapter 10. The Self-Care Secret. Unlock your full potential. Okay, we've talked a lot about productivity hacks and time management strategies, but here's the most important thing. None of it matters if you're not taking care of yourself. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about refueling your energy, managing stress, and showing yourself some love. When you prioritize self-care, you're actually investing in your productivity and well-being. Think about it. When you're feeling stressed and burned out, how much quality work are you really getting done? Probably not much. But when you're feeling energized and balanced, you're able to show up as your best self in all areas of your life. So, make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or simply taking a relaxing bath, Find what works for you and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Reclaim your time and energy. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've covered a lot of ground today, from procrastination to self-care. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. Let us know in the comments which habit you're going to work on breaking first. We're all in this together. See you in the next video.